Welcome to the Unshakable Talks with me, Katie Schweiger. This is where we lift the lid on what entrepreneurs are really going through. The struggles, the myths, the mistakes, and the things we've been sold to. This is where we talk about how we balance business and life. This isn't another podcast teaching strategy. This is where we talk about the raw, real truth about female entrepreneurship and what it really means to run a business and life and combine both of them together. Running a business as a woman isn't harder, it's just different. And it's time we talk about this. There is no cap on what we can achieve, because behind every business, there's the stuff no one dares to talk out loud. Welcome to the Unshakable Talks. Today I'm talking to Selen. Selen is a wellness and nutrition coach who is London-based but serving clients all over the globe. Selen is the founder of the Alcaterinian method, who's helped over 10,000 people with their nutrition, their gut health, their digestive health, and to lose weight. Selen is much more than this. She will also share how she scaled her business to multiple seven figures with such a small team. And you actually will not believe how small her team is. And on top of this, she is going to share with you her top tip, which also happens to be one of my favorite top tips within business. Welcome to the Unshakable Talk, Selen. I'm super excited to have you on today because your story is not just inspiring, but also it is what a lot of women try to achieve when it comes to business. But before we talk about how you scaled your business to multi-seven figures with a really, really small team, I want to start right at the beginning. Who was Selen before you got into what you're doing right now?
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for this conversation. Who was Selen before I got into running my own business?
Yes.
Or before? Okay. So before I founded my business, I was a computer engineer working in one of the largest private banks in Turkey in digital banking, so corporate life. And before that, before my nutrition coaching business, I co-founded my first business before the banking career in my last year in university. And I did that for 3.5 years. It was a tech startup that I co-founded with another company, and then I sold it, and then I started working in a bank. Was that your question, what I was doing before?
Yes, so the entrepreneurial blood has always been running in your veins, hasn't it? But you're obviously a nutrition and wellness coach now. You're extremely well known in Turkey. But how, from your corporate career, what motivated you to actually do what you're doing now? Because there's a personal story behind it, and that's if that's okay with you. This is a story I really would like you to share, because I think a lot of women who are listening to this episode will kind of see themselves and can relate to this.
Yeah, of course. So this business started with my own personal frustrations and then my own personal transformation, just like you said. So as I mentioned, I studied computer and electronical engineering in university, and I'm originally from Turkey, from the Aegean Mediterranean part of Turkey. So I grew up there, and then I studied in Istanbul. And then when I was studying engineering, I went to the United States for my study abroad year. And when I was in United States, in 2 semesters, I ended up gaining more than 14 kilograms, I think, which is like 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's about 30 pounds.
30 pounds in just 2 semesters with standard American diet. They call it SAD for a reason, standard American diet. But we can also call it standard Western diet. I think there are similar things in the UK as well. So obviously I was studying engineering. I was in the dorm room. I was just like eating like all of my other friends, which is just grabbing packaged foods, takeaways, and always like eating while studying. So yeah, I think my diet changed immediately without me realizing a lot. So I gained a lot of weight. And what's crazy is like I was staying in the dorm room. So I did not have a full body mirror. I did not have a scale. I wasn't even like looking at myself, and I did not notice how much I was like, how fast I was gaining weight. Obviously, my size changed 2 sizes. And then I went back to Turkey and I realized how much weight I gained. My family, my friends, everybody was like, "Oh, wow, welcome back."
How did that make you feel? Because did it come as a shock to you?
Yes, because obviously I was aware that I was gaining some weight because my pants weren't like fitting, but I wasn't aware how much. And I realized it was like so much weight that I gained. And immediately, and I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
So immediately, okay, I gained a lot of weight. How can I fix it fast? What can I do now? So I found myself, and I think every woman listening to this episode will find something in themselves, something similar. I found myself like, okay, I need to lose this weight fast, and like angry, upset. It's not coming from a loving place to myself. I'm like upset with myself. It's kind of like I'm punishing myself. So I started jumping onto like every diet that I see in the magazines, in the newspapers, on the TV, like crazy restrictive diets. And I was like trying one diet, maybe losing a couple kilos, 4 or 5 pounds top, and then feeling miserable, hungry, and like upset, and then like giving up, and then gaining it all back. And then, okay, try another diet. Same cycle. So that cycle took, I would say, like over 2 years of me constant like yo-yo dieting trap, of me constantly trying every shiny new diet and then losing just a couple kilos, gaining it all back, and then like losing it, gaining it all back. I wasn't able to lose anything at all in the long run. And I was super frustrated. And in the meantime, I finished university. I found my first startup, exited it, and then started working in the bank. So obviously all of my dieting patterns, very unhealthy dieting patterns, coupled with the corporate banking career.
The stress of life and trying sorry to interrupt you, but at that stage in your life, your early 20s, mid 20s,
early to mid 20s,
you're trying to kind of establish a career path, and that's stressful as it is, isn't it? And start actually then not being happy within yourself, then getting the looks and the comments, the little comments from family and friends, because that's Selen they're seeing. They didn't know. They knew the healthy Selen, the healthy Mediterranean way of living. And I can really relate to this as well, because I spent 20 years of yo-yo dieting in the hope something will change.
Oh my gosh, can't imagine 20 years. My 2 years were like a nightmare. Wow. Yeah, exactly. And the comments that like people were making was also like, I was trying a new diet. I was like, oh, you're on a diet again. Oh, like you're eating a salad again. You know, like always like there's this. So you're always then like self-aware of your own patterns. But so all that your dieting trap and the stress of corporate life and everything, it created serious gut issues for me, serious digestive issues, up until to the point that at the age of 24, I had to undergo colonoscopy and gastroscopy procedures. And that took like over 6 months of doctors trying to identify the cause of my gut issues. And I changed a lot of different gastroenterologists. And then the final gastroenterologist, professor, doctor in gastroenterology, incredible doctor that I found in Turkey who did my gastroscopy and colonoscopy procedures, he was the one who gave me the wake-up call, right? We all have a wake-up call in our businesses. So he was the one who gave me the wake-up call, and he basically said, like, all of the digestive issues that you're having right now is because of acidification. Your gut is acidified, and you need to heal that. And unless you do that, you're going to be facing like serious problems. And we all know how gut health affects everything in your body. So then he pointed me in the direction of alkaline eating. It's like you need to eat more alkaline foods. You need to reduce acid to heal yourself. Up until the point, I did not know anything about alkaline eating, alkaline nutrition. But as the geek I am, I'm like, and this time I was very inspired to learn about a diet, not to lose weight, but to heal myself. It was the first time I was like reading about a diet. I was trying to learn about a diet, not to lose weight, but to heal my gut, heal my digestive health. So I started deep diving into alkaline nutrition, alkaline eating, alkaline foods, which is anti-inflammatory. Alkaline means antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. And then I started applying it to myself. Like, I got super nerdy about it. I started reading the research, reading books about it, applying it to myself. This time I was following a diet, again, not to lose weight, but to heal myself. But I ended up losing all the weight I gained in United States. I ended up losing it in just 2 months, which is insane. So I lost.
That is insane.
That's insane. And I healed my gut as well. That took longer than 2 months, but I healed my gut as well. I was very inspired about my results, and I was like so happy, and I was thinking, okay, this is like magic. However, I was like, okay, but for 2 months straight, I was still obsessing over food. Yes,
we were still dealing with the same patterns.
Exactly. Just this time, my motivation wasn't to lose weight. Maybe that's why I was able to stick to it for longer. But I was still restricting myself a lot. And I think for 2 months straight, I think I said no to 2 travel plans in that 2 months. One with my family, one with my friends, because I was so worried about what I'm going to eat there. And I was like rejecting some social occasions. Anyway, I started thinking, okay, but this is it again going to be another diet? Yes, this time I lost all the weight that I want to lose. With the previous ones, I wasn't able to. And I healed my gut. Incredible. However, now how I'm going to able to sustain it whilst living my life, whilst going out for vacations, going out to eat dinner at restaurants, eating my pizza, drinking my wine. How will I be able to do that without obsessing over food? And as the engineer I am, I was like, okay, I need to now look at the data that I have in my own life. And I thought about myself, and I realized like I never had any weight issues all my life before I traveled to the US. And I wasn't even like going on a scale, or I wasn't dieting. I wasn't losing or gaining any weight. I did not have any weight issues before US. So, and I was like, okay, what was I doing? I was living a Mediterranean life. Again, I mentioned I'm from the Mediterranean part of Turkey, so we were like Mediterranean food, lots of seafood, vegetables with olive oil, lots of like herbs, plants. Like it's very flexible, it's very sustainable, it's very yummy, and it's like not
so yummy.
It's yummy.
I mean, I love the Mediterranean way of eating. And there is a reason why there is not a lot of obesity in the Mediterranean.
Yeah. I mean, 2 of the blue zones are from Mediterranean. Exactly. And actually, one of the blue zones is Ikaria, Greek island. That is very close to where I am from.
Okay.
It's like you can take a ferry in like less than a couple hours and you're there.
Okay.
So it's very similar diet to one of the blue zones. And I was like, okay, so I was doing something right. I did not have, obviously, I wasn't losing weight because Mediterranean diet, I think, is great for health, for longevity. It's the evidence-based gold standard when it comes to longevity. So what I was thinking is like with my engineer mind, okay, so alkaline nutrition, eating according to alkaline nutrition rules and biochemistry, cell biology and everything, it helps you see results very fast. So you can like lose fat very fast and like heal your gut, feel incredible in your hair, skin, everything. And Mediterranean diet makes those results, keeping it off, super easy.
Which is a perfect combination.
Exactly.
Because when I went through my weight loss journey, people always ask me, what did you do? And I just started with one thing. But the better you feel about yourself, the better you look, the better you the more energy you have, the more you're going to stick with something. So this is what makes it sustainable. Because if you're restricting like you did, and you're miserable and it doesn't fit within your life and you have to really decline holidays, social gatherings and everything else,
it's miserable.
You're not going to stick with it because it's just not sustainable. So, and I think this is where you find your sweet spot, didn't you?
Exactly. It's because like so there's intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation, and like the external motivation is losing weight. And that's a main driver for a lot of people to start doing something.
Yeah.
But then you start seeing other effects, such as, you know, feeling incredible in your skin, feeling confident, gut health, immunity, better energy, all of it. And all of a sudden you realize how incredible you feel. And then that external motivation turns into internal motivation, or they get combined, and that's how you sustain your results. But yeah, anyway, I started thinking, okay, so how can I combine my learnings, the biochemistry of alkaline nutrition, with the philosophy and the lifestyle of Mediterranean diet? And that's how I created my Alcaterranean method, which is, again, Alcaterranean, the biochemistry of alkaline nutrition with philosophy of Mediterranean diet. That's why the term Alcaterranean comes from, although back then I didn't have a term. I was just like experimenting and trying stuff. And I was like, okay, so if I'm gonna go out tonight and have pizza and wine with my friends, what can I do to help balance it?
Yeah.
Before and after, with with the teachings of it and the learnings that I learned about alkaline nutrition, but also like how can I still enjoy and without being like restrictive.
Yeah.
So then I created my Alcaterranean method, and with that method I am so it's more than 10 years now, and I kept it off. So I did not gain any weight. I feel incredible, and
you look incredible.
Thank you.
And not just this alkaline training method has changed a lot of women's life.
Yeah.
So tell me about this, because this is really what the inspiring part is.
Yeah.
Yes, you came to this through your own struggles and really kind of thinking, I need to change this. And your engineering background came in really handy, because your logical thinking, you really dissected everything, which no one really does. We all just want a quick fix, and we don't really understand the backgrounds of nutrition and what it does to your body. So you've done the groundwork for all of us out there, which is great. But tell me about your method, and let me just also say, you developed this while you were still working in your corporate career, haven't you?
Yeah, I did. I found my business while I was still working full time in the bank. So yeah, I created my method, and I was like so inspired with the results that I got. And initially it was kind of like a passion project. So back then, that was in 2015, I opened an Instagram account, and I started sharing my learnings and how I'm doing what I'm doing, and how I'm staying fit effortlessly whilst enjoying all my favorite foods and drinks and enjoying life. So I started sharing, and then I started realizing people started coming to me asking my advice, my recommendations, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, like, why am I giving everyone free advice? I mean, I love helping people, but this is not. I can only give free advice to so many. Anyways, I was like, okay, maybe I start coaching people, and then I decided to get qualified before I started doing that, obviously. So then I started taking like certifications on nutrition and qualifications. And then once I got qualified, I started, and I was still working in the bank, I started coaching people as a side job, nutrition coaching. And I was teaching my Alcaterranean method. And they were all women. I do work with men as well, but they're mainly women. And they were getting results in such a short amount of time, and very fast results, and they were like feeling incredible. They were enjoying the process. They were not only getting great results, but also like feeling confident and sustaining them. So they started referring me to all of their friends and family, and very quickly my side business started generating more income for me than my full-time job in a bank, in digital banking.
And that's amazing, because that's every woman, a lot of women's dream, to leave the 9 to 5, to have their own business. But actually, especially when you have been in a 9 to 5 setting, and in your case the corporate setting, with an incredibly good income, which equals a lot of safety, financial security, leaving this behind is the biggest struggle for most women to actually take this step. But you've created something which allowed you to make this decision much easier
Yeah.
because you didn't have to worry necessarily about the financial aspect.
Yeah.
So talk me through what that step meant for you, because besides the financials, when we are doing this, how old were you there at that time?
Back then, 25.
25. I don't know if you've lived with your parents at the time, but I know for myself, our parents always have a certain kind of view on how we should live our life and where they see us going within life.
Yeah.
So obviously having a daughter who works in a large corporate bank, great achievement. So how do they feel about you now trying to or thinking about doing the transition?
Yeah. I think that was a very hard decision for me, and for them to accept as well. My parents, both my mom and dad, they're engineers, and they have worked in corporate life all their lives. They're not entrepreneurs. I don't come from an entrepreneurial family. And initially, when I told them about what I was doing as my side business, they did not take me seriously. They thought it's like a hobby or something that I'm making a little bit of income. And at one point, I was like, I'm thinking of quitting my corporate job working for the bank, and I'm going to do it full time. And they felt like I'm burning my diploma. I am like, they were like so scared, so worried, so anxious about my decision. And they initially, I don't want to say they did not support me, but they also just kept talking about their worries and fears to me, and then making me feel, and you want to get your parents
you want to make them proud. Yeah,
exactly.
And they're the closest to you, so we do want to have validation from the people around us,
of course, the people that raised us, the people that we love. And so what I did is, obviously I did not do it intentionally, but it just happened as it meant to be. There was a health and wellness festival happening in Istanbul.
Okay.
And it was Mother's Day. And it was like such a great festival. It's on Mother's Day in May. So it was like a great weather, sunny. And the festival was like outdoors on the grass. It's like in a park. All of the people in wellness industry, like yoga, breathwork, Pilates trainers, nutritionists, like they had like their stands and talks and workshops. So I got 2 tickets to that festival, and I took my mom there on Mother's Day.
Okay.
But I wasn't doing it, like it wasn't a strategy. I just wanted to spend the day there with my mom. I wanted to take my mom. And then my mom saw, there were like 2 very, very successful in wellness industry. Like one of the guest speakers were there, and then the other one, 2 of them were like speakers. So then my mom listened to their speeches, and then just being in the environment, like she started following them. And then I think that day it was the same day we turned back from the festival, we went back home, and me and my dad were sitting, and then my mom was like, I think you should do it.
I think what you did unintentionally with this is you made your dream tangible for your parents.
She saw where I could be. It wasn't strategic for me, but I think it's again like putting yourself in the right rooms. And sometimes like showing your brain, your mind, like what's possible for you. And my mom saw what was possible for me. And she was like, I think you should do this. And obviously that helped me a lot with my decision making. But I think the most thing that helped me a lot with my decision making, and that's what I would recommend to many women who are scared, and I come from a country that stability is very important. Security and stability. It come from a chaotic economy, and it's a chaotic country in many ways. Like it's super important to have the stability and security of a job. So that's why I could never just quit when I had to. It had to make sense to me. So I was already making good income from that side job. And I worked hard for 2 years. I did 2 jobs. So that gave me some safety. It was like a bit of a safety. At least I'm making some income. I'm not going to just quit and then ask.
Trying to figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. But another thing that consoled me a lot was, what is the worst case scenario here? Like what worst can happen? The worst case scenario is like I do this for a year or more or less, like something around the year, and then it doesn't work the way I want to. I struggle to scale, I can't make money. In the worst case scenario, I go back to corporate life. Like I still have my experience, I still have my engineering degree. So the worst case scenario is like a lot of people's best case scenario.
I was just about to say this, yeah.
So I'm like, what worse can happen? Like and then I was like, okay, then if I don't take risks, and when you look at it that way, like what worse can happen? All of a sudden, the very big risk that you think that you perceive as big end up not being that big.
Yeah.
But the reward can be very
huge.
Very big.
Yeah.
So that gave me the courage to just quit working.
And in your case, the reward was huge.
Yes, it is. It is still huge.
And it is still huge, and it's growing.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about your coaching business, and I believe you have around 11,000.
12,000 now.
Oh, 12,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
To your program.
Yeah.
So tell me about this, because this is for everyone in the coaching industry who has memberships or some sort of subscription programs.
Yeah.
That's like everyone's dream.
Yeah.
And I know, because we obviously had a conversation before, and I couldn't believe it when you said that. You scaled your business with like the tiniest team.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. Tell me how you did this. You don't have to give everything away, but just a little idea.
How long we have?
Just a little idea. Because I find this really inspirational, because a lot of women think they have to have a huge team to get to that stage within business.
Yeah.
They think they have to have like this super blueprint in order to achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
But it does require hard work. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
You work incredibly hard.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come easy, but it definitely doesn't need what a lot of people think it needs.
Definitely not.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so true. 'Cause I used to look at women making 7 figures, multi-7 figures back then, and I would think like they must have a very big team. They must be like, but it's not like, yeah, I only have one full-time team member and one very, very part-time team member. Only works on Saturdays, half a day. That's it.
That is very part-time.
That's very part-time.
And that's amazing.
And that's my team.
And you.
Yeah, and
me,
that
is it.
Yeah, that is it. That's it. That's my team. So yeah, so obviously, like, one of my biggest revenue streams is the membership that you just mentioned, which right now has over 12,000 monthly active paying subscribers. That's my wellness platform, nutrition platform that teaches my Alka training method and helps the members, helps my clients lose weight fast without dieting and keep it off. And that membership, I would say, brings more than 50% of my business revenue. I do have other offers such as private coaching, group coaching offers, or instant access courses other than membership. But membership is like more than 50% of my business revenue.
And it's consistent.
It's recurring, consistent. I found that membership in January 2020.
Okay.
So 6 years ago, exactly 6 years ago.
In the height of COVID. So
it was like 2 months before COVID.
Yeah.
And I think COVID helped my membership to grow because a lot of people were in that time.
Yeah.
I think March was COVID. It was March.
March, I think March. The end of March,
And then March, April, May, everybody was like at their homes and like lockdown and not going out, and they weren't like spending money on anything. And I think it was like the first month, everybody just like from stress or like boredom kept eating and eating, and then they started feeling like, okay, this is like, I need to do something about it. And then and people were like already getting very used to being online and getting support online. So I started scaling my membership in like during lockdown, during the pandemic, but I found it just 2 months before. So it was in January. I think one of the biggest things that helped me scale my membership fast And again, like I'm saying fast, and I think it is fast, but 6 years, it's not overnight success.
No,
like
it's not overnight success.
I say 12,000 members now, but it's 6 years of hard work. But I think one of the best things that helped me, if we go into like the nitty gritty technical stuff, obviously the fact that the product itself, the membership itself is so good and people are getting incredible results and all of it, that's like, but technically what helped me to grow it is running ads. So I started running ads, meta ads, especially like, and back then it was Facebook ads, in 2020. Like as soon as I found my membership, I started running ads, being active on socials. And I think there's organic content.
Yeah.
Because there has been times where I'm always like active organically on my socials. However, like sometimes I don't promote my membership for a couple of weeks. Like and then I see the ads are not, so it has to be both your organic content and ads. What else helped me to scale? I think one of the biggest things is like, and it's more like mental, energetic thing, is like not waiting for something to be perfect. I was like, I want to do this. When I first launched my membership, it wasn't a membership. It was a 1-week program. There was like 1-week meal plans and 3 videos of mine explaining my Alka training method.
Yeah.
It was in January 2020. I recorded the videos, posted the 1-week meal plan, and I already had an email list. I shoot an email to my email list, and I shoot an email saying it's a membership. And initially I said, every month I will send you training videos and 1 week of meal plan. So you can like, it was like, initially it was just that. And I think initially, like in the first couple months, like 50 people signed up in from my email list organically. But like I could have waited for that membership to be ready, for all the content to be ready. But I think it's like moving fast and like acting when you have an idea in mind and when you want to launch something, and just do it and then enhance it along the way.
That's a very, 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 very important point, because a lot of that hinders a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this as well.
We have all been guilty of this.
I'm definitely a perfectionist, and I definitely had to learn to not let that really determine on how I do things, and it took me quite a while. So I think this is a very, very good thing to mention. So your membership is not available in the UK.
Yeah, that's in Turkish.
It is in Turkish.
Lira targets Turkish people, yeah.
You, I mean, I could talk with you for hours, but for our UK audience and for the American audience, you do have other programs.
Yeah.
For example, your 10-day
Alka
reset, and I will actually be doing this myself, and that's not because you're a guest on my podcast, but because I'm extremely interested in healing my gut. So I don't really want to lose any more weight, but I have noticed for years and years of yo-yo dieting, my gut health is not the best.
Yeah.
And I have done a little bit of research about the anti-inflammatory diets and all of this. So I'm really interested in this, and I'm definitely going to do this. But you also, besides this, you're also helping other wellness coaches to actually do what you're doing, like create those amazing wellness businesses. And I think I work with a lot of women in the wellness industry, and coaching or like getting help and advice is very underestimated in this industry. It's not a natural thing for those women to do. So tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, I think I know it from my own example. When I initially started doing, even like, so I started doing it in 2015, but I founded my membership in 2020. So there was like 5 years of me doing constant and working so hard, constantly doing one-on-one work. And I think a lot of people, and especially women in wellness industry, they want to help, like they just want to help people.
Yeah.
And they sometimes feel like guilty of like charging more or like making, and also they don't realize that this could be a scalable business.
Yeah.
They think they just have to keep doing one. Think of like therapists, yoga instructors, like personal trainers, breathwork practitioners, nutritionists, dietitians. They all think like, I need to open a clinic and keep doing one-to-one work. However, there are a lot better ways to scale your business. That's not scalable, and that's only going to create burnout. And I've been there before I launched my membership. So I am very passionate about like helping other, especially women, because more money in the hands of women, helping women in wellness to scale their businesses. It's also like wellness industry is such an underpaid industry.
It's so underpaid, and it's everything you just mentioned. It requires you to be there all the time and actually doing the physical work. And this is what's not scalable, because you're just one person.
Yeah.
And actually hiring you as someone who's been that person who moved through this transition period, who has created those amazing programs and who are scaling by the minute. So, I mean, this is really, it's really inspiring to actually show that this exists.
Yeah. And actually, when you scale, you help more people. Like,
Absolutely.
how would I be able to coach 12,000 women on a month-to-month basis if I was doing one-to-one work? That would be impossible. But right now, like, tens of thousands of lives are changing with my method, and I don't need to give my one-to-one time. So it's like, yes, I scale my business. Yes, I make more money, and I'm not going to feel shameful about it. We want more money, more women making more money. Amen. But I also impact so many people and change so many lives. So that's why I'm very passionate about, because the effect of like all of these incredible women in wellness doing incredible things, when they scale their business, actually we're making the world a better place.
Absolutely.
So I'm super passionate about this is my current like side business. It's just private coaching. I do private business coaching and mentoring to other women in wellness as a side job. Just like, it's
not a side job really. I don't think Selen does anything as a side job anymore, but you're definitely going to change a lot of women's life when it comes to business, because what you have achieved is absolutely amazing. And especially, I think culturally, I think it's extremely inspiring. It is extremely inspiring coming from a young girl who just throughout her own pain really developed something which is changing thousands of lives. So I think this is, and the fact that you are running your business with such a small team, and your business is such a big scale business, is super inspiring.
I have team members. I have Meta ads. I have many chat. I have my email automation.
So we like AI.
Yeah, we do.
We do like AI.
Yeah.
But if you would go back, the question I asked everyone, if you would go back to Selen at the beginning of her entrepreneurial journey, and if you would give yourself one piece of brutally honest advice, what would that be?
Yeah. I think, especially if I go back to Selen, who found her, like, go back to myself, when I found my current business, I think the first 5-6 years, even like first 4 or 5 years, was so much figuring it out, trying to figure it out, and trying all other ways, and not having clarity when it comes to what I want to do, and asking so many opinions from so many successful people. And I think my biggest advice to her right now would be, don't ask opinions of people unless you want to be at their position. Like, somebody can be a CEO of a very successful company, but is like, or they can be like, but is that what you want to be? Do you want to work for a bigger firm and like being in the C-level and then work in a cubicle? If that's not what you want to do, then don't ask their opinion.
I think this is one of the best advice you can give anyone, because I think this hinders a lot of people within business. And anyone listening to this episode, I hope they go in their mind, I'm glad she said that. And I think this is the best way to wrap up this episode. I could have talked to you for hours. I'm
Yeah,
definitely
same.
going to have you back. But for now, thank you very much for coming to the Unshakable Talks. And I want everyone to go to the show notes because we have a little something there for them as well at the end. And thank you for coming, Selen.
Thank you so much for having me. Love that conversation.
If you've been feeling stuck or disconnected from the woman behind your business, this is your sign. The Identity Shakeup is my new free audio, a short, powerful reset to help you to get clear on the person who you've become and the person your business needs next. Head to the link in the show notes to access it today.